What's up?
How's it going? Can you hear the song?
It's going good. I can hear you. What's up?
Can you hear the song playing?
I can't. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Why would you do that to me?
Come on, let's vibe, let's vibe. Why this song?
It was a meme in the beginning, and then yeah, it just became a thing.
I really wanted to get your little like light show going, but we didn't have time.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, Sidon, let me put some
What's up?
music back on. Go ahead and introduce yourself for everybody.
Hi, my name is Zion. I'm just your average pink guy, and yeah, I mean that's all I can really say at the moment.
Come on, there's so much more. There's so much more. It's an onion here. There's a lot to peel back on.
I don't know. I just talk about weird stuff, you know. I just be myself. To some people, I'm the ripoff of Zhongli. I guess. That I don't know when that became a thing, but yeah.
You made me choke. I was gonna ask about that. You're getting my who gave you the insider info?
Just everyone in like was chat just called me the ripoff of Zhongli. I'm like, okay. I don't know where that came from, but all right.
The pink Zhongli. So,
The pink Zhongli.
And you can hear me fine on Discord, yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it's just Rusto being sus. All right. Then I think for a lot of the people on my stream, I think because so far I've stuck to people that I'm sort of familiar with, but you're definitely one of the people that I'm not. I mean, I watch your streams, I lurk, but you're still very out there. So what kind of content do you do? What do you stream? What do you like to do?
Let's see. Well, currently, I do a lot of FPS games, like first-person shooters. I'm a really competitive gamer. Currently, right now in Valorant, I'm Ascendant, trying to hit Immortal. Yeah, pretty much. I just play like later this afternoon. I am playing with some other VTubers, having collab with Valorant. So yeah, mainly just Valorant. But sometimes I like to do graphic work as well because I'm a graphic designer in real life. So I like to stream that as well.
I was actually gonna ask about that. So you design stuff. What kind of stuff do you design?
A variety of things, but so far I've actually kind of like pinpoint like the niche that I do currently right now. It's like logos, overlays, anything related to streams. For VTubers in specific, that's what I kind of work on at the moment.
So actually, that because I see Coda in chat here. What is your opinion on Canva?
Canva?
I
have no opinion.
You have no opinion, but have you used it before?
I have no opinion. I have used it before. Okay, so here's my opinion on like, and I'm sorry for any other graphic designers out there. My opinion is you must use Adobe programs. If you don't use Adobe programs, that's like the professional standards. That's kind of how like,
oh god,
what I come from. If you use any other program, like, yeah, it's okay. You get the work done. You know, if you use like, what's that one paying software that like recently got like subscription now? I forgot what it's called.
GIMP?
No, Clip Studio.
Oh, Clip Studio.
Yeah, like if you use, like Clip Studio, PaintSci, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, it works, but you're not gonna get the same quality, not the same features as you would with like, an Adobe program.
Coda.
Well, I get, it's expensive.
Coda literally blown the fuck out. You just heard it here, guys. Canva is not valid. No, but Canva is pretty easy to use if you're a total beginner, I suppose.
Yeah.
Since we're on the topic of oh goodness, I didn't put your art in here. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
But since we're in the topic of your graphic designs, I picked some of my favorites. So let me bring him up. I don't know if you're watching on the stream, so there might be a little delay, but here is
I am.
honestly one of my favorites. I love leather jackets.
The Depths jacket. Yeah, the varsity jacket.
How does it work? So do you make the logo, the design first, and then you put it onto the clothes? And can I actually buy this because I fucking love leather jackets?
Okay, so I'm like an unorthodox graphic designer. I was originally first self-taught, and then I went to school for it. And I didn't like the way they were teaching things because I like doing things my own way. I have no process in doing things. I literally I go balls deep. I just go in right away. Just do it. And I don't know, there's no process that goes on in my head. I just start slapping things together and it just works.
Oh, also, I didn't put your Socials, or maybe I did, but here you go, guys. These are site and socials.
As for this jacket, you know who this VTuber is, right? Depths.
No,
Okay.
I'm a VTuber baby. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Wait, no worries, no worries. She's a Cloud9 VTuber. So the backstory on like this particularly just this design is a while back. This was actually before I started VTubing. Cloud9 was opening an internship for graphic designers, and Cloud9 has been Cloud9 is, for anyone who doesn't know, is one of NA's best esports teams. And I've been a fan of them for a very long time since they first came out. And when I found out that they're opening internships for that position, I was like, oh, I gotta get in on this. So I did. I didn't get it, unfortunately. You know, it's a really competitive, kind of area to try to get into Cloud9. You know, it being in esports and whatnot. And so what I did was I didn't necessarily want all my work to go to waste. So I went to the subreddit and I posted all my work, and it gained much more traction than it should have, to the point where the vice president themselves DM'd me talking about the designs and whatnot. Yeah. So basically, when I was making these designs, I was targeting specific people that I liked in Cloud9. One of those happens to be Depths, who is a Cloud9 VTuber. And yeah, I loved her design, so I decided I'm gonna turn it into a varsity jacket, and this is what you see right here. So it is a concept. It's not real, unfortunately, and I can't make it for you because I don't own any of the rights to it. But yes.
So but that makes me curious. Can you, for example, if I wanted to commission a leather jacket with Niles on it because I am narcissistic, like is it doable? Is it possible?
Yeah, it's definitely doable for 100%.
All right, merch arc. Here we go. That would be super cool because I love leather jackets. I want to ask about your how you got into VTubing. But first, since we're still on the topic of these clothes, let me bring up a few more that I enjoyed. This one. I dig the for some reason, I don't know why, I feel like this is what a K-pop singer would wear.
Yeah, I'm not into K-pop that big, but I do love Korean fashion. I like how, it's kind of simplistic, but also kind of showy often a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how do you explain Korean fashion? Like, it's just so unique. It's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah. But I mean, I know what you're saying, but I have no idea how you'd. If the graphics designer can't explain it, I can't.
But yeah, this is like the kind of clothes that I would wear. Not to like be mean or anything. Cloud9 has great merch and whatnot, but I feel like they lack a little bit of diversity in it. So adding some of that nice fashion, that streetwear, kind of like that Japanese streetwear, like that nice streetwear. So it's basically what I made, and yeah, I turned it into clothing.
Also, hello, Fauna. Do you wanna Fauna redeem the hydrate? Do you wanna hydrate with me?
I don't have any water on me, but I pretend to drink water.
All right, I'll put my little cup of coffee on your mouth. Here you go. Here you go.
Thank you.
Nice.
Is this black coffee?
Yes.
Oh, I hate black coffee.
Spitting it.
I actually don't drink coffee at all.
I cannot live without coffee.
Really?
I would have not made it today. You saw how late I stayed up.
Yeah.
Do I have? So those are my two favorites for your clothes. Actually, no, I have one more. What am I saying? This one. See, this is another one of those that it's like simplistic.
Oh yeah.
But not.
I love this one.
Look at that. Look at the design. So the little mountain in the back. That's Fuji, right?
Yes, this is Mount Fuji.
Goodness gracious. Do you have a website for this stuff?
It's not uploaded on anywhere just because like I haven't. I'm too lazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, dang man, I would love to commission a leather jacket from you.
I mean, I guess you could find it on Reddit because it's still there on Reddit.
Oh, you also have a Reddit.
Yeah, it's on the subreddit of Cloud9 because it's Cloud9.
Okay. So I thought it was like your subreddit.
No.
Okay. Damn. Let's keep going with the graphics designs because, okay, I wanted to ask about these. Why are these just you're practicing or what's up?
Yeah, it's just practice as a graphic designer. I think just an artist in general. You just like do practice. And for this, I recently started playing No Man's Sky again, and I was like, I really love space
nice.
and the theme of it. So I was just like, I don't know, let's just do something. So I literally just made a collection of just popular actors and actresses in like this sort of space theme thing. Like if they were in their own movie, like what's that one movie? Game of Thrones, I think. Yeah, Game of Thrones, but like if it was in space.
Ah, wait. I think I've heard of that. Yeah, because I noticed all of them are like very space themed.
Yeah.
This one as well. But how the heck do you go about it? Do you find the images or what's up? How do you?
So for this one, I actually did have a process. Kind of ironic. I just basically looked for the best HD quality pictures of these celebrities, and then I just kind of slapped them on there, and I just grabbed like aspects of different things from the internet and used my skills to blend it in pretty well. So this Lawrence image that you see here, this is actually like 50 different images in one.
Okay, I was gonna ask. Yeah, did you like put them all together?
Yeah, I put them all together. They're all different things from different, like you could just type in Green Galaxy and you'll see some of these elements in it, and that's exactly what's there.
That's crazy, dude. How long does it take you to make something like this?
This takes me like 20 minutes. It doesn't take me that long.
Excuse me, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it doesn't take me that long. I don't know. I find it when I was in like school for graphic design, they were like kind of amazed at how fast I kind of do things. I'm like, I don't know, I just do it. Especially something like this. In my opinion, this is super simple. But for some people, this is like, well, this is a lot of detail and insane. But this is super simple for me to do.
Yeah, I mean, this Viti's losing her marbles here. Uh, okay, so that I wanted to ask about those because I wasn't sure what you were going for, but I still thought they were super cool. But you also draw, right?
Thank you. Thank
You don't. You not only
a
just
little bit.
design.
A little bit.
Okay.
I don't think I'm the best drawer, but just a little bit.
Okay, I wanted to ask about this one then. Who is this? Is this your homie?
Oh god. Yeah, this is my homie, my sibling. His name's Nova.
Ah,
Kuramo Nova. Yeah, yeah.
do you?
I made this fan art because like we got like this thing going on in like our family of like, oh, we're gonna make yaoi of each other. And another VTuber sibling was like, Splake, she's like, you could put fingers in people's mouth platonically, and I was having this argument like,
Yeah,
you can't put your finger in people's mouth
yeah.
and think it's platonic. That's not how that works.
I don't
And then
really think
I
you can.
decided to make art of it.
I don't think you can put anybody's anything in anybody's mouth and call it platonic.
For real. He recently just debuted too, so that was awesome.
Oh, nice. Okay, DM me their Twitch later.
For sure, for sure, for sure.
Let's check out more. But they're all. Who is this chicken? Because I know a chicken.
Alright, this one's a little bit of an inside joke. So this is another VTuber sibling of mine. Her name is V.
Wait, like
Sorry, I had a phone call.
V?
Yeah, her name is V, not as a VT, but her name is V. Yeah, another sibling of mine. So I was watching her stream and she was playing Apex Legends as she normally does. And me, I'm kind of like the sibling that's kind of like the non-say-so sibling. I'm like the horny one. And I was mentioning like, oh, hentai. I said in her chat, and her chat's a little like say-so. So she was trying to play it off as like, yeah, it's a hen with a tie on it. So I was like, that's a great idea. So all my other siblings were like, you gotta draw something like that. And so I did. I drew this, posted it, and that's hentai right there.
God. All right, let's do more. We have this one. Who is this?
So this is my another sibling.
How many siblings? Are you related to someone? Like, are your parents just
I'm
getting
not
that
related
busy?
to any of them. It's just like, oh, whoa, wait, what? I
You're-
actually do have a lot of siblings in real life too, but
No.
I think it's like maybe 50 plus. But some of them aren't in the Discord because it'd be like that sometimes.
Holy. Okay, who's your? Okay, I hate saying the word, but who's your mama?
My mama, don't really have one. It's like a company, Kurobox Studios.
Okay, I see. That's cool that you can
But,
still keep in
yeah.
touch with them.
Not that much.
Oh.
I'll explain a little bit. Some quirks that I got with them, but yeah, I'll explain just a little bit. But yeah, so this image here, or this painting I did rather, is Itsuki. Unfortunately, though, he's no longer a VTuber, or at least not at the
That's a
moment.
shame.
Yeah, his model is actually no longer his. He doesn't own it anymore. He decided to go another path, but essentially he's just like my little brother. He plays as my little brother in the family.
Okay. That's I kind of want to ask about the company thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna make a disclaimer here. No disrespect to the company at all. No disrespect. You know, they made amazing models. They gave me the capability of meeting all these amazing people, especially you. You know, but essentially, this company is, you know, I think it's based in England, and like their communication isn't that good, unfortunately. They make amazing models, but it seems like, you know, they're kind of overworking themselves. So this essentially translates to like some pretty like long discussions, or like, you know, they'll say something and then they'll get back to you in like 5 weeks later. You know, I have some siblings who like requested a model and then hasn't gotten back to since. It's been like 3 months or something like
Oh
that.
Jesus!
Yeah.
But why?
I recently got a few new outfits too, but unfortunately I can't use any of them because like copyright issues.
What? So what's the point?
Yeah. So I don't know if I can send it to you and then like, you know, you can put it on your stream, but like, so I requested for a second model and I got it, and or they sent me the drafts and then they colored it, but I didn't know they colored it because they basically held it for a month and then they finally gave it to me a month afterwards. So I was like, okay, this is a little bit of a bro moment. They offered me some free changes, so I made some changes, some small changes, but I guess we got lost in translation somewhere. And the changes that they gave back to me were some pretty bad changes. The outfit looked amazing, like it looked good. But the only problem was the outfit is copyrighted. I asked them not to copy the entire thing, but they
Oh
did
my
anyways.
So why'd you choose to use a company?
Well, I was kind of on a budget back then,
Oh, okay, okay.
and yeah, my manager was just offering me like all kinds of like people, and at the time it was Screwbox Studios, and they had some pretty good reviews, and like their models looked pretty good, so I went for them. But for those who are watching right now, I am actually getting a 2.0 as we speak right now.
Nice. Okay. I want to see a sneak peek of that later, but I'm not gonna ruin the surprise.
I actually don't have anything at the moment. I do have a reference sheet being made at the moment.
Nice. Cool. Okay, I'll keep an eye out then. Milo asks, "Do you have any Zhongli outfits?"
Oh my.
You definitely
No, I
should.
don't have any Zhongli outfits. The only thing I have is a toggleable mask.
Oh wait. Do you actually? Yeah, show it off if you can.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
one of the few things. It's actually reactive
Oh, it
to when I
lights
speak.
up. Yeah, it lights
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
That's cool. Yo, that's super cool.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay, let's keep going with the art. I have a lot of the art here, but I think I want to show
Did I
some
do
of the
more art?
logos.
I don't even remember if I did these arts or not. I don't. It's.
You have these cool ass logos. Is
Mm-mm.
this like a similar process as the Galaxy pictures?
So this one actually isn't a logo. It's just like a banner. This is when Yalan
Oh
first
yeah,
released for
sorry,
Genshin
banner.
Impact. Yeah, and not really a similar process. Uh, this is like a certain style that you'll see on like YouTube banners, and so I decided to create one, and then I decided to take a step further and animate it as well.
Oh, it's animated, so I didn't get the
Yeah,
animated version.
yeah, it's a big file. That's why I couldn't send it.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. Okay, so you also do animation.
Yeah, it's kind of like live 2D, I suppose, where like, you know, the character moves and whatnot.
Okay. All right. In the interest of time, because we've
Mm.
already gone like 20 minutes. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
Everybody,
fast.
feel free to ask questions from now on. In the meantime, yeah, let's do a little dance, a little jig. Um, yeah, feel free to ask questions, but I want to talk in the meantime while chat revs up.
Mhm.
How'd you get into VTubing? Because you said that, I mean, before you weren't in VTubing, so what's the inspiration?
Um, yeah, my story is a little bit unorthodox, but like when I was a kid, maybe like 12, like this was the beginning of like YouTube, when YouTube first came out. You know, like back then it was just purely Minecraft videos, and me being a kid, I was like, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. You know, every kid's dream basically. And for the past maybe like 10, 12 years, I've been trying to become a YouTuber. But what's prevented me is, you know, toxic relationships, not having the right timing. My voice back then was terrible. I still think my voice is terrible today. So I had so many channels going on and off. Kind of never stuck to one. And then a few months back, I actually did kind of stick to one. Gained a pretty good following, about 8K subscribers. Focusing on mainly just content of Valorant, and I got to work with a lot of people, voice actors,
Mm-hmm.
artists, to create like these fan made characters, and I was working out so well. And then school kicked me in the butt, so I had to work on school again. And then VTubing started to grow. I had no idea what it was. Like I literally genuinely had no idea what it was. All I heard was you can be a big fat boo boo girl, and I was signed up.
Why didn't you go for the booba?
I don't know. I just feel like a big boo boo wouldn't match me.
Okay, since we're on that topic, let's talk about your name.
Which part?
You know which part I'm referring to.
which one are we talking about, man?
Why?
How do you know about that?
Why come to?
Why comes you? So I was just talking with a friend, and we were just talking about like rapper names, and she was like, "What'd your rapper name be?" And the first thing that came to my head was like, "Yo, Cumchu sounds like a good name."
Why though?
I don't know. It just sounds dope. Cumchu. I mean, who doesn't want to be a Cumchu?
You're putting that image into everybody's mind.
I mean, it helps out too, because if I say "come" on Twitch, they can't necessarily ban me because it's my last name. They ban me like, "Why? It's my last name. Why would you ban me? It's Cumchu."
Am I gonna get TOS now?
Nah, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
All right, we got our first question. From Milo. Your outfit looks amazing from the chest down. What's the theme or inspiration? Yeah, okay, that's actually a good segue.
The main theme or inspiration. So I don't know if you know this game called Fantasy Star Online. Yeah. I really like the outfits in that game. It's so unique in comparison to like any other MMORPG I've played or any futuristic game. Maybe the closest game would be like Xenoblade.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, basically I just loved the outfit. I loved it, so I decided I'm gonna use that as my main inspiration. But my 2.0 is nothing similar to the outfit that I'm gonna have.
Do you play the new Fantasy Star? Well, no, it's not new, but like the
it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks. It's terrible.
I've thought about it because I used to love the GameCube one.
It's not worth your time.
Damn.
I'll save you a lot of hours. It's not worth your time. The graphics are amazing. The combat's great, but once you get into like the real quirks of like the aspects of the game, it's not that great.
Okay, well that sucks. I fucking used to love that game as a kid.
Yeah, they really ruined the game.
Come to
Let's just say a lot of stuff from the old Fantasy Star is no longer there.
Okay, well that's a shame. I'm not gonna get it then. I wanted to get into it. Milo says Cumchu sounds like an orgasmic sneeze. That is exactly the image that I'm talking about, Milo. You sneeze and make a little mess in your pants.
Sometimes. I'm not gonna get into details, just sometimes.
Asvidi asks, what is her opinion on boba tea?
She's asking that because she knows my opinion.
You're a VTuber, right? So you kind of have to.
I think boba's mid. I don't really like boba.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And now my reasoning is for that is, it's because I choke on balls all the time. I choke on those boba balls all the time. I don't know what. I guess my thirst is not like slimy enough. People say chew, like I chew still, and I still choke on the balls.
How? How do you choke on them?
I don't know. They just like. I drink them. They get stuck in my throat, and what I have to do is drink more boba to wash it down. But that just means more balls in my mouth.
Yeah, have you thought about chewing the balls?
I do chew the balls, but I still choke on them.
You chew your balls, man. Come on. You can't.
I guess I gotta chew harder. I don't know. I just don't drink boba. I don't mind the drink, but the boba that makes it pretty terrible. Especially popping boba. That's the worst.
Oh yeah, I'm not a big fan of boba, but I suppose that answers the question of if
hate balls pop in your mouth.
If you chew or swallow.
Oh, I definitely swallow.
I think we had another question. Oh yeah, we did talk about it. Cyton did not make their own model. People, I mean, it's very rare. Well, not actually that rare when people make their own model, but it is cool. They got it commissioned. Wow, that boba got me messed up. Just chew the balls.
It's an unsettling feeling. Once you got something like stuck in your throat, it still feels like it's there, even though it's not. So the whole day, I just feel like I got a ball stuck in my throat.
Okay, yeah, don't drink boba then. Okay, since I asked this to pretty much everybody. I want to know what is your nostalgia game?
My nostalgia game? Ooh, I don't really have one. I don't know if that makes sense. Like I do have one, but it's not because of the reasons. I don't know, like, I don't know if like you this feeling like you go to Disney World as a child, right? and it feels so good. And then you go there again as an adult, and you just don't have the same feeling. That's like for me for
Yeah.
games. I go back to the old games I used to play, and because like they're mainly associated with like really bad memories because of the people that I played with, I just don't have the nostalgic feeling. There's only one game that I do have a nostalgic feeling, but for certain reasons I can't say it here.
Okay, no problem. And what's your favorite game then? Asks
My favorite
Say.
game, like overall or like from certain genres, because I have a lot of favorite games.
You do you. You do you, baby.
All right. My favorite game overall. Oh man, every time I get asked this question, like I always forget, and then after I'm like, oh, I remember, and it bothers the hell out of me. I guess my favorite game that I can remember like right off the bat would be Haven. That's one of my favorite games.
Really, Haven? That's I would not have expected that.
Yeah. Coming from an FPS player, I like the game Haven, which is totally weird. It's because that's the one game that actually does give me nostalgic. Like that game, the orchestration, the music in that game, the voice actors, the way the story is told, and the person that I played it with, it was just a great experience.
Okay. That's wait, I was gonna ask something. Since we're on the topic of streaming, what do you think you'll ever incorporate your graphic design into your streams? Sort of like I see Rusto do his hand cams, I see other people doing Canva streams.
Never. Well, I mean, I guess I do live stream when I'm doing like commissions or doing work, but I will never use my own work, ever.
Okay. That's a shame. I love to see when people but I mean, yeah, the moment you start streaming your work, streaming sort of starts getting weird, right? Like, are you doing it for enjoyment or?
Oh yeah, I do definitely 100%
Yeah.
for enjoyment. I just the reason I don't use my own work is because I like using other people's work. You know, I feel like I shouldn't be taking the show, even though yes, it is my stream, and I should be using my own stuff. I like using other people's stuff. I like paying for the, supporting them. That way, when people see it, they're like, "Oh, that's a really nice looking overlay." I'm like, "Yeah, go check out this guy. He does a really good job."
Okay. And where would you like to travel the most? Ask Say.
Ooh, what a generic answer, but Japan. Just for the food, though. I don't want to go there for any other reason.
Okay, okay. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a lot of questions. What kind of music do you like?
EDM. I really like electro dance music. I used to like dubstep, not anymore for some reason. I don't know, like, I guess it's too much. Nightcore. I don't know if that's a genre of music.
What is nightcore? Is that like crapcore?
How do you not know what crapcore? What is that?
You never heard of crapcore before?
I never heard of crapcore. Nightcore is just like a song but sped up 2 times. I don't know. It just sounds better.
Okay. Sort of like the city pop movement that became more like speeding up all these old tracks.
Yeah, it's like the anime-fied version of a song.
Okay. Okay. Who is your favorite music artist then? Would you have one?
Danger.
Danger. Okay.
Yeah, he's the one that made the soundtracks for Haven.
Okay. It's all coming together.
It's such like unique music art style.
Hold on. Let me catch up with chat.
No worries.
Let's take a drink. Wait, you don't have any water, do you?
No, I don't. I never drink water. My pee was so yellow this morning, it was insane.
Come on, you gotta drink at least 2 liters of water.
I probably drink like 1 cup a day and that's it.
Come on, you gotta take care of yourself. Drink more water.
I have unhealthy habits.
I'd like to remind everybody, we do have questions that are live. So if you want to ask questions, go for it. Okay, we just got another hydrate.
Yeah, drink water for me.
Oh, I just dropped the bottle. Here, take a sip out of my coffee.
More of that nasty coffee.
Open your mouth. There's no boba in there.
Good. Okay, you better not have boba in it. Boba and coffee? Yo, that's kind of weird.
Actually, I think that would be cool, like a milk coffee boba.
That's gotta be like cold though. It can't be like hot.
Well, yeah, like a nice coffee thing. Yeah, that's literally all it is, right? So if you don't drink water or boba, what are your favorite drinks? Asks Asvidi.
I am not a picky eater. Food's food. You know, I'll eat it. I don't have a favorite drink. If it's there, I'll drink it. I won't drink alcohol though.
You are a smarter person than I am.
Oh, it sounded like you were disappointed for a second.
No, I don't. Every time I hear something like that, I think, maybe I should stop. What about spicy food? Asks Amy.
Spicy food? My spice tolerance isn't that good. At least I want to think it's good, but many people say it's not good. My like the most spiciest thing I can eat is like is Takis. You know that
Oh, I
Mexican
fucking
chip,
love Takis.
dude. Those are the bomb.
Dude, my family, when they come to visit me in Europe, they bring me like
Hmm
5 bags of the big ass Taki bags.
Dude, those are so great.
Yeah.
Whoever invented that, chef's kiss.
I wake up, I kid you not, I woke up and I just went to have one Taki. I'm trying to ration them.
Just hearing about Takis makes my mouth salivate.
I love
It's so good.
Takis. I love all like the flaming hot Cheetos as well.
hmm
Oh god. Oh,
Have you ever tried the blue Takis? I don't know what they're called.
yeah, they're not as
Those are
good.
garbage.
Yeah, they're not as good. They're way too
I
sour.
hate that one. It just makes me think like I'm eating Gatorade chips or
Right?
something.
It's unnecessary. They're it just what's the point?
It's not right. It's just not right.
Those are super illegal in Europe because of the food coloring.
Really?
What other foods do you choke on?
Oh, bro. Any ball-like shaped food, I choke on it. I almost had a near-death experience once when I was a kid. I was at my grandparents' house and we were eating spaghetti and meatballs, and I don't know what was going on through my head. It was like a giant freaking meatball. It was like the size of my fist, and I was like, I'm gonna swallow that whole.
What
Worst
is
decision of
wrong
my life.
with you?
I swallowed it, and I was choking on it, and I was dying.
What is
Life
wrong
almost
with you?
faded. Like I saw myself come out of my body. Like my vision was disappearing. Luckily, my grandpa was there. You know, did the little Heimlich movement, and it came out. Nothing's
Good.
wrong. I mean, I don't know. Don't you just look at balls and be like, I want to put that in my mouth?
It's not my first thought, but now I will. Now
Like you look at balls, you want to cup it, right?
I don't know about that either. But now that the thought has been what's the movie incepted into my mind? Oh no.
Swallow your balls first, because you gotta enjoy the whole circumference of the
Oh
ball.
my god. I'm getting a bit derailed here. I wanted to ask about your VTuber experience. Like
Mm.
coming into the VTuber world, the indie VTuber scene. How's it been?
It's been pretty casual actually. I was actually a little afraid to come into the atmosphere at first because I started with literally nothing. I didn't know anything about it. I just had like a very vague knowledge of it, and my siblings, they helped out quite a bit. Uh, to me, actually, it's actually not that different from regular streaming. And it's kind of weird because a lot of people are like, oh, you got to open this program, you got to open that program. You get a lot of technical difficulties. I never experienced that. I don't know why.
Ah. So you don't like boba, you don't have scuff. Is that really a VTuber material?
I don't know. You tell me.
Those are like all the qualifiers.
I mean, you don't need to like Bobo to be a VTuber.
No, I know, but it's such a weird trend. Like every time I'm on Twitter, I'm always thinking, I always see people talking about boba this, boba that.
I'm streaming with a guy whose literal persona or V-sona is Boba, and I straight up just told him, I hate you. I told him, I'll swallow your balls, but I hate you.
Oh my god, I'll choke on them.
For real, I mean, I will.
When did you start streaming? Did you stream before being a VTuber?
I did actually. It was years ago, maybe like 2019, 2018. If you look at my Twitch stats, you can see when I started, and then there's like just like 4 years of just like not streaming at all. So I have just like this long line of just not streaming, and then like I started streaming again, and it just went super high. But yeah, the main reason why I stopped streaming was because the people I was with
Oh god,
didn't have the support of people.
this video wants to know about the Jolly Rancher story.
Why you gotta ask these
I
things,
hope this isn't
man?
like the Reddit Jolly Rancher story.
What's the Reddit Jolly Rancher story?
Oh no, you've never heard of the Reddit Jolly Rancher story?
I've never. Please indulge me.
Okay, let me pull it up. While you tell yours.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember all the like main details, but I just remember some of it. So, like the Jolly Ranchers, the small ones. So I won like a big one. It was like a big flat Jolly Rancher, as a reward for something in school. I don't remember what it was, but I remember coming home and I was eating it in the bathroom. That's not weird, okay? Eating food in the bathroom is normal. I was just, I was eating, doing my business, right? and I was taking a piss, and as I went to pull up my pants, and I'm talking like this Jolly Rancher was maybe like 6 inches or something in length, and I swallowed the entire thing. It went into my throat and into my stomach as I pulled up my pants, and I did this by accident. And I was like, did I just do that?
You are the reason that like things have choking hazard on them.
I was so sad. The most depressing thing is I didn't even get to finish that Jolly Rancher. Like, yeah, I finished it, but by swallowing it, I didn't get to taste the flavor. My stomach did. The acid just took it away from me.
You're literally keeping those people, like, they have a job because of you. The people that manufacture the graphics for choking hazards.
Yeah, that was my first like lively experience of actually swallowing something. I was like, wow, I can deep throat. I got a deep throat game.
You want to hear the Jolly Rancher story?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, guys, this story is a bit sus, so bear with me. But...
I'm all about it. I'm all about it.
All right, it's pretty short. Let's see. So nothing tops the Jolly Rancher story. Steve and his girlfriend Samantha went off to college in August. She went to Florida State, he went to Penn, so she decided to fly to Pennsylvania to visit him. He was really happy to see her, so he decided to give her some oral action. He had done this numerous times before, and he always enjoyed doing it, but for some reason this time she smelled really horrible, and she tasted even worse. He didn't want to offend her though, because he hadn't seen her in months, so he put a Jolly Rancher in his mouth to cover it up, even though it didn't do much to help. In the course of eating her out, he accidentally pushed the candy inside her and stuck a finger to grab it out. He took it out and put it back into his mouth and bit it. Only it wasn't the Jolly Rancher. It was a nodule of gonorrhea.
Oh!
As in, the blister-like structure that gonorrhea makes filled with diseased pus was the size of a fucking Jolly Rancher, and the poor guy bit it. It was really dark in the room. He freaked out and started vomiting all over the place when it exploded in his mouth.
It exploded in his mouth. Yo,
that's the Jolly Rancher. I was...
It's kind of smart though. Eating a Jolly Rancher while doing that's kind of smart. I gotta try that.
I thought your Jolly Rancher story was gonna be like that. Every time I hear a Jolly Rancher story, that's what comes up. That's all.
That's like a flavored condom, but for women.
Oh god, that story is like 10 years old.
I've never heard of that. That's my first time. I gotta save that on Reddit.
Oh no, please don't. So I think you mentioned you wanted to talk about let's bring it back to more of a serious discussion. You said
all right.
You said you wanted to talk about this is a very natural segue.
Supernatural.
But I sort of was trying to allude to it with your experience as VTuber, people you've met. I think you wanted to talk about that, but I didn't get.
Let's go from stank coochie to depressing stories.
Yeah.
Let's do that. All right. A little bit forewarning. I'll try to explain this the best I can. I've been trying to like explain the story like for years now, but like I'm like so terrible at speaking about it. So the way I deal with depression is I make it into a funny story, or I turn it into a funny thing. So for me, everything that has been depressing in my life has just been a funny moment for me. So there's a lot of things that need context, so it's going to be a little weird as I explain the story, but I'll try my best to explain it without the context. So in 7th grade, I made friends, and I was recently going through like a pretty harsh friendship at the time, where I didn't have any friends, and I was being basically life threatened by those people. So I made some new friends in 7th grade, and as the years passed by, as we moved on to high school, I made more friends, and basically, I kind of became this leader figure of this group because I was the one who kind of brought everyone together. We went to a school that was like primarily Asian. It was about 80% Asian in the school, and it's kind of like a prestigious school. So in the school, everyone has like high standards. Everyone kind of like thought highly of themselves because, you know, we were like the top 10 school in the state. And I gathered the people who were like the weirdos, that's kind of who I gathered, and I was kind of the leader of that group. And as we were playing games, I kind of started noticing some behaviors in myself that I gained from them, because the people that you hang out with is kind of the people that you become. And I noticed, some of these behaviors weren't socially acceptable. I didn't feel like that this was me. Some of these behaviors were like making fun of women online, saying racial slurs, saying things that you shouldn't say, bullying children online just because they're children, doing all these kind of toxic behaviors, especially like you know how like in League of Legends you always have like toxic people. Yeah, I was one of those people at some point because of them. You know, your body just kind of like reacts and like does certain things when you're with certain people because you know you want to kind of fit in. And so this main best friend, the one that I made in 7th grade, he's like the number one best friend. Like you have friends and then you have a best friend. So he was the best friend. His brother, his older brother, was suffering from cancer, and he also had a lot of birth issues. So he died, unfortunately, and I went to the funeral. That was my first ever funeral ever, and I cried so much during that funeral. I'm a very sensitive guy. That's where things started to take a very dark turn from there. My best friend, after his brother died, became super depressed, and I tried to be the friend that he needed to get through that hard moment. That ended up being one of the worst things that I could have done, unfortunately, because of the way that he handled it. So again, I tried being there for when he needed me to be there. I tried talking when he needed to. And just for some context, everyone else in the friend group did not know that his brother even had cancer or had passed away. He viewed his brother as like his idol, even though his brother suffered from autism and, you know, had cancer. So out of respect, I didn't tell anyone about his brother's death. So I solely was his burden. I carried his burden with him, you know, trying to be that friend that he needed. As years passed on, after his brother's death, he started becoming very aggressive, like extremely aggressive towards me, towards people online, and you know, and I kind of noticed his behavior, but I also kind of adapted that behavior a bit as well because again, the people you hang out with is the people you become. It came to a point where we were playing this game. I think it was Fortnite. This is like when Fortnite first started, and we were random queuing with people. And I met like the nicest guy. I'll say his name. His name is Jared. He was so nice. Like my friends were bashing on him, like you know, making fun of him because he was Asian, even though we were Asian ourselves. It didn't make any sense. But they were bashing on him so hard, and even though that we were bashing on him, he was still so genuinely nice, and he still wanted to play with us even afterwards. He thought it was funny, and I really respected that. Like, I really like, you know, I was like, wow, this guy is so genuinely nice, even though people were making fun of him. So after that day, I had a hard time sleeping because that was like my wake up moment. I was like, wow. I realized, you know, the things that I've been doing were so strongly influenced by these terrible people that I was with that, you know, I wanted to become better. I wanted to become who I was before I met them. And so from that day on, I strive to be a bit better. You know, it's kind of a hard process to try to change yourself. You can't do it immediately. But every day I tried being better. That also turned out to be one of the worst things that I could have done in terms of with that friend group. Because I tried being a little bit more active, you know, saying like, hey, we shouldn't say those things. You know, there was one time where we were playing Rainbow Six Siege and we were queued with like maybe a 12-year-old. It sounded like 12 and he didn't, you know, he sounded like kind of acted like he was 12 years old. And my friends were just like bashing on him, you know. And throughout the game, it sounded like his mental attitude was going down. And I was like telling to my friends, I was like, hey, you know, maybe we shouldn't say that kind of things. He's 12, you know, let's not, I know the internet's harsh, but let's not, you know, give him a bad interpretation of that. We shouldn't bash him. This is just a game after all. After that incident, my friends started to think of me differently. They were like, man, you're too soft now. Or like, man, you know, you're kind of like a killjoy now. You're no longer who you used to were, who you used to be. You know, like I've desensitized I sensitized myself now. I'm censoring myself, you know, kind of having a filter now. And you know, at the same time, I didn't want to be that guy, so I had a struggles between trying to be that rude person and trying to be the person that I wanted to be. Now, this is the time where things started to get really, really serious. Suddenly, every single night, I would get harassment messages from my best friend saying like, I know you're talking about me, I know you're talking crap behind my back, when in reality, I was really just not doing anything. I was, you know, just minding my own business. So he would keep me up at every single night, you know, with harassment messages, and I would be there not to assess him harassing me, but maybe he just needed to vent, you know, because obviously he's dealing with a lot of things. So, you know, I wanted to be that punching pillow for him. But you know, a person can only take so much of that, and so my mental health started to go down really, really badly. Again, more situations keep getting worse. There was one time in school, I was in class, and he DM'd me. He says, "I want to fight you at lunch." And that was like the first time I was like, whoa, wait, what? You want to fight me? Like he wanted to have a physical hand-to-hand on combat. And the reason why he wanted to do this was because he envied me. He envied me because he thought that I had a better life than him, because he thought that a lot of things were going great in my life, when in reality, it wasn't. But so he envied me. He wanted to fight me just because I was me. And so I respectfully declined. I told him, maybe you can go ahead and punch me if you need to, because, some people, they need to vent that out. But he says, no, he says, don't be a pussy. I want you to fight back. I want to punch you back. I want you to fight me back. I want to beat you up. And I was like, listen, man, no, I don't want to be that guy. I'm here to support you. If you need that punching back, I'll be here, but let's not fight. I eventually did de-escalate the issue, but, that took a really strong mental damage on myself, because, like, just imagine your best friend comes to you and just like, I want to fight you because I envy your life, and that really sucks. So that took a really strong mental damage to my brain. And then things started to get a lot more serious. One night he just DM'd me and was just like, I cut myself. And immediately I was like, no, we can't have this happening. And he told me, please don't tell my parents. And I was like, no, I'm going to tell your parents. So I went to my mom, because our family's really close to each other. And we live not too far apart from each other. So I told my mom about it. We went to their house, and we were talking to their mom, and we were discussing, like, your son cut yourself and he doesn't want to tell you. And I could tell from that day he did not appreciate, like, me helping him at all. I felt like I was really backstabbed. I was really betrayed. I was trying to help him inform his parents that, his son's going through a lot of things, that he is contemplating suicide. And from that day on, it just became extremely awkward, because, again, I was kind of lost for words. I was trying to be a good friend, but, he didn't want to be a good one back. It was during this time where it was near the end of high school, and things were going pretty sour. At this point, me and him have gone through a lot of fights, mainly just him starting up something for, like, no reason. And sorry. And so yeah, school, but the pandemic hit. So that's when we stopped going to school in person. So I didn't have to see them in person. But that means we talked a lot more online. I don't know exactly how the last fight started. I just remember that he started it and started saying some things, and he said some really, like, rude, like, things that literally I can't even say on here, because they were just so crude and, like, so terrible that, like, I was just crying the entire day. And I told him, because, we've been through so many fights, I gave him a last chance. I said, this is exactly what I said. I remember this so clear of day. I told him that, hey, man, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a very sensitive guy. You know this. Things really hurt my feelings, and I've been telling you these things. So I'm gonna give you a last chance. If you apologize, I'll forgive you. And instead of apologizing, what he did was, in quote, his words, boo-hoo, you have feelings, grow up, man. And so from that point, I banned him on the Discord. And I decided, you know what? I'm just not going to be his friend anymore. I've taken enough of this. Again, the reason why I still want to be the friends is because they were my only friends. I had a hard time making friends in school, but at the same time, these were some terrible people. 30 minutes later, this guy comes to my house and starts banging on the door, to the point where it was so loud and he was being so aggressive. I asked him to leave. My mom had to get involved in this story. So my mom came to the door. We didn't open the door all the way because he literally looked like he wanted to kill me. And my mom essentially just forced us to talk. When I told my mom I didn't want to talk with him, we already had a talk, and he did not want to apologize. And that entire time, we were just cycling to the same crap that we've been going through this, like, entire year of just, like, him repeatedly abusing me mentally and whatnot. And so it eventually ended, but instead of him coming to my house to apologize, all he came to my house for was to get unbanned from the Discord.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and so, again, since the COVID was there, I didn't have to see him in person in school. After 3 days of contemplating and speaking with someone, I decided, it's best to finally cut off my life with these people, all of them together. Because it wasn't just him, it was everyone else as well. Everyone was taking sides, and everyone was taking mainly his side because, again, I didn't explain the story to anyone. They only heard his side because, out of respect, I didn't want to tell him that his brother died. I didn't want to share his depressing story with anybody because, yes, even though he has treated me terribly, I still had respect for his family, and I didn't want to expose him to everyone else. So I decided to cut everyone off, or at least I decided to cut him mainly off. And I still had the remainder of the group of friends in my Discord. And as the months pass, it didn't get any better. And the reason why it didn't get any better is because I was still in connection with everyone else. And they were still harassing me because they were taking his side of the story because I never explained mine. So, one of the biggest things that hurt me was throughout the pandemic, it was my birthday, and everyone knew it was my birthday because we would always celebrate it, and no one said anything to me. And it wasn't that big of a deal. I didn't really care that too much for that. Accidentally put on the mask, my bad. And then when it
That's
came to
okay.
his birthday, everyone, and I mean everyone, they didn't blatantly tell me like, "Oh, hey, it's his birthday." They did it in such a way where it was subtle, but they did it so that I would be able to see it. And that really hurt. And then anytime that they would play games with him, they would tell me, "Hey, we're gonna play with him and not you." And this really started to hurt a lot. And eventually, I decided, okay, I'm gonna cut off all of them from my life, and that was the hardest choice that I could have made because that was the only way I had some sort of social interaction. I did not have any friends in real life, and I had nothing. So I cut them all from my life, and for 2 years straight, I just never talked. I didn't have any friends. I didn't speak about anything. That was just kind of like how my life went.
Do you think VTubing has helped in a way?
Yeah, it really has. Ever since VTubing, I've met so many amazing people. And I mean, to this day, unfortunately, I still don't have any in real life friends, but at least I have a lot of people that I can talk to online. And it really, really does help. If you were to talk to me 2 years ago, I would not be talking like this at all. I would be deaf tone. I would be monotone. My family, I think for like 2 years, the only times I ever talk was when my family asked me something, and that was the only time I ever talked. So I lost a lot of social skills. I gained a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of issues back then, but I'm slowly healing. I still have some of it today. I was just streaming the other day ago, and they were like, "You sound so sad," and I was like, "Oh, sorry about that. Just let me get into like the momentum of it, and I'll eventually get back to being happy about myself."
Well, I mean the community has been super good, and honestly, I don't think because you keep saying that you don't have any IRL friends, but honestly, the community is so nice, and there's so many people here. It doesn't matter to me if I've never met these people. I think you can still count a lot of people here as actual friends. So
True, true,
I
true.
just don't want you
I didn't
to.
mean it that way.
No,
Yeah,
no, of course, yeah, no, yeah. No, I just don't want you to think you're alone in that regard.
yeah, yeah. It's a tough process, but if anyone, the reason why I'm explaining the story is for anyone that's like, kind of going through the same thing because the pandemic's still kind of going on, and you know, if anyone has the thoughts like, because I used to have this thought where like, oh, those guys are going to be my friends forever for the rest of my life. I had that thought, and that was suddenly broken apart. If you're going through depression or something, if you're going through something similar, there's a way out. It takes time. Depression is a hard thing, and I know it's a disease, definitely, but it's a curable disease.
Yeah, yeah. You learn to handle it with the right tools.
Yeah.
And drinking is not one of them, guys.
Yes, don't drink.
Take it from me. So we're pretty much on the last legs. Guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them now. Saiton, do you have any last words for the chat?
Honestly, just thank you, everyone. Thank you, Niles, for inviting me to the show. This is actually my first interaction of like being on a show. I was actually kind of nervous about it, and thank you, thank you, just like chat for being here. Watching Niles as well. It means a lot. That's all I can say. I'm not really good at like expressing my feelings anymore. I'm not good at like what's the word?
Just,
Taking in compliments. I'm not good at doing that.
Yeah. I know, I get it. Thanks for the follow, by the way. I missed it a little bit. Didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, what's your plans for the future?
For the future, so I actually have a lot of things for the future. I recently just opened my commissions, so I will continue to work on commissions. I've gained so much support from it, like just an insane amount of support from it, so I will continue to do that. I will have a 2.0 coming out very soon. It's going to look very different from this, so I'm going to have an entire overhaul from the way I present myself, the way I talk, be more open about myself in the future. So yeah, I can't wait for that.
Perfect.
Kind of like a rebrand, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. I think it's about time. We'll do a little break and then I'll debrief. Saiden, thanks so much for stopping by. You're on.
Thank you for having me.
You're
It was an honor.
hilarious.
Thank you.
Please chew the balls.
I would never chew my balls.
Yeah.
I will swallow them whole.
Just stop swallowing things.
Well, then how am I gonna consume the food?
Well,
I can't just chew it
fine,
forever.
but you know.
I gotta practice for when I don't have teeth when I get old. Okay.
That's fair. Just start drinking paste. Just eat
It's
paste.
all about endgame. Okay, swallowing is endgame. You heard it from me.
It is. All right, guys. Thanks so much. We're gonna go on a break and then we'll be back. Saiten, again, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the BRB screen.